Greg Mathews getting the start in the National League Championship Series.
The ball up the middle. You can't pull away and hit that changeup away. You just won't get to it.
And down he goes. He turned it over. So Mathews starts with a strikeout. Gladden gone here in the first inning, and Al Newman is the batter. But Newman saw a good deal of action during the regular season. He is a switch hitter and a much better right-handed batter. And he hits a fly ball to shallow center. Tommy Herr tells Willie McGee he'll handle it. 2 gone. So quickly 2 down, and Kirby Puckett is the batter. The championship series, and a pretty quiet 3 for 12 thus far in the World Series. And he lines it to left. Holman is there, had a little bit of trouble but stayed with it, and down go the Twins in order after a half. Minnesota nothing, and St. Louis coming up. Frank Viola on the mound for Minnesota. Paul Molitor, of course, had a 39-game hitting streak during the regular season.
And when he got hurt, about 3.7, so quite a difference.
2-2 to Coleman, got him, turned it over, and down he goes. So Viola changes speeds, and Vince Coleman, after having the count his way, 2-0, goes down on strikes.
But every 4th day with only 3 days rest, it's easier. You have better control. You have more confidence.
Smith reaches out and grounds it down to Al Newman. And Ozzie is gone. He becomes the second out, and Tommy Herr is the batter. The Cardinals,
which is kind of an understatement, but it's really the truth. These guys have to get on, especially now that Pendleton is out of the lineup.
And they won't do it in the first inning because Gagne throws out Herr. Each team goes out in order. We'll go to the second with no score.
More upright, and he just couldn't do it. It wasn't effective.
Gaetti gets hit by the pitch. It grazed him. And so on a 1-2 pitch, the Twins get the leadoff man on here in the second inning with Gary at first base and nobody out, and Tom Brunansky coming up. Very much. 1-0 the count. And it's a towering fly ball to shallow center field. Herr goes all the way out and camps under it for the out. Tommy's second put out. Gaetti remains at first with 1 down.
Carew had 27 back in 1978.
There he goes. It swung on and missed, and the throw down to second doesn't get him.
On the hit and run play. And I don't think Pena really saw and anticipated.
Looking on as his club tries to get even. And if they do, it means a guaranteed 6th game Saturday in Minnesota. That gets away from Pena, who can't find it. And down to third goes Gaetti.
I tell you, Tony looked like he was crossed up on that pitch.
Gaetti at third. 3-2 the count. And he gets him. Big strikeout.
The better hitter he is.
Spun down to first. Lindemann does it himself, and the Twins squander a threat in the second. End of 1.5, no score.
Base, it's a lot easier to steal third than it is to steal from first to second.
And down goes Lindemann. Good fastball. So 2 strikeouts for Viola. He fanned Coleman starting the first. Lindemann here in the second.
Hitting very difficult.
1 out, base is empty, and McGee wraps it into center, base hit. So Willie has Viola's number, his 3rd hit off Frank, and McGee having a good series is now 6 for 12.
All the way back as if he were warming or winding up.
McGee goes, and it's drilled toward the gap in left center field. Puckett charging in and has to short hop it, and McGee stops at second. So the Cardinals with 2 on and 1 out. To deep left center field. Gladden goes all the way back and makes the catch, and the runners have to hold. When it left the bat, it looked like it had a chance, but it just died. And Gladden able to race back and make the play. 3-2 the count. McGee and Pena go, and it's called strike 3. So the Cardinals strand 2, no score as we go to the third, and we'll be back after this message from your local station. Even mulling the possibility of Cox pitching on 2 days rest in a deciding game. That's drilled to deep left field and gone by plenty. Greg Gagne, who hit 10 during the regular season, makes it 1-0 Minnesota.
What a rocket. Boy, did that ball get out of the ballpark in a hurry.
Well, you talked in the first game about how he wraps his bat. Now 2-0
this year and in his major league career. And he looks like it.
Swinging for the first time, not hitting.
There is a difference.
Yes, there was then.
Coach appears to possibly be getting forced up right now.
To left field, and Coleman comes in to make the catch. So one left fielder flies out to the other. And with 2 down here in the and Newman is on. So with 2 down, Newman draws the walk, and Kirby Puckett comes to the plate. Puckett fly to left in the first inning.
Center fielder Kirby Puckett.
Toward the hole, corralled by Smith, who goes to her for the force. Nice play by Tommy. So in the inning, the Twins take the lead on the home run by Gagne, and after 2.5, Minnesota 1, St. Louis nothing.
Good play.
So that ended the top of the third, and now in the bottom of the third, Mathews grounds to short, and Mathews can barely run, so he just jogged down to first base on the grounder to Gagne.
And it's supposed to go down a little bit lower.
0-2 to Coleman, breaking pitch, line to right field at Brunansky, and he makes the catch. Tom Brunansky, Frank Viola, who won 17 during the regular season. And Smith gets on. So with 2 down, Ozzie Smith at first base, and a threat to go. Smith second on the club in steals to Coleman. He had 43. There he goes. Good jump and a little looper into center for a base hit. Smith will go to third.
Well, that was not a hit and run.
Smith at third and Herr at first. Held on by Herbeck. Into left field, base hit, game is tied. The bases, St. Louis had drawn only 3 walks in the first 3 games. And boy, did he go after a pitch a mile out of the strike zone. Willie that over anxious to give St. Louis the lead. They settle for 1 on a pitch at eye level. Down goes McGee, and we'll go to the fourth, tied 1-1. The second inning. Wound up at third, but was stranded there. And he rips it into left field for a base hit. The leadoff man is on for the Twins. Second time that has happened tonight, and up comes Tom Brunansky.
Arbitration next year as you look at Bob Forrest swarming for the Cardinals.
Broken bat knocked down by Mathews, goes to second, and in time for the force. Nice play by Mathews. Back shattering, he's able to knock it down, had the presence of mind to still get the...
He breaks a lot of bats, but what they're doing tonight, both Viola and Mathews, is in and out.
In the air to right center field and shallow, Oquendo comes charging in and makes the catch. 2 gone here in the 4th inning with Brunansky at first base.
Behind that screen and catch one.
Runner goes, pitch is high, throw is high, and a good jump that time for Brunansky, who just took off and stole that one. Forsch comes on in relief, and let's get the inside pitch on Bob Forsch.
Dodgeball. It's a dangerous place to dugout sometimes.
Breaking pitch misses. Forsch thought he threw it over, but Laudner draws the walk. That walk would be charged to Mathews.
2-2 blown away sliders.
Yeah, those are evil, I agree.
That's what he got, too. It didn't ward off that baby. And at the end of 3 1/2, Twins won, Cardinals won.
He knows Viola does not want to walk the leadoff hitter, whether it's Pena or anybody.
And he loses Tony, so Pena draws the walk. It is the first time tonight the Cardinals have gotten the leadoff man on, and Jose Oquendo.
You may see Pena in motion.
He bluffs going, and it's lined into right center for a base hit. He's on his way to 3rd and in there with nobody out. High drive to deep left field. Gladden goes all the way back at the fence. It's off. It's gone. Who hit 35 during the regular season, and Forsch lines on the left at Gladden, who makes the catch. So it's 4-1 St. Louis. Dick Such on the phone to the bullpen, where Schatzeder is loosening up. And a check swing. No, he didn't go around, says Kaiser, ball 4. Coleman at first base. 1 down. Schatzeder came in last night.
A sore arm, but there isn't one. But very good in postseason play.
And that's in there, and Smith has gone on strikes. So Ozzie gets handcuffed despite 12 for 27 lifetime against Schatzeder. Pete to come over not only as a player, but the playing manager. So Lawless went the other way. Huge jump by Coleman. Laudner has no chance, and it's backed up by Gagnon.
Second baseman, shortstop moving around. Yep.
Now ball 4 is intentional, and Lindemann will come up. Niekro is still throwing in the bullpen. One thing that Kelly can think about is if he wants Schatzeder to hit to lead off in the 5th inning. Schatzeder is an excellent
First
hitting
baseman.
pitcher.
A huge guy at 6'6".
North Carolina State with David Thompson.
There goes Coleman. It's ripped into left center for a base hit. Coleman scores, juggled by Puckett. Herr will stop at 3rd. Lindemann to 2nd. McGee is at the plate, singled and struck out. And he rips it into the gap in left center to drive in 2. Puckett cuts it off deep. McGee has a double, 7-1.
Getting his 12th triple of the year. You get an idea that not only can he hit, he can run.
In the air to center field off Pena's bat as the Cardinals send 10 men to the plate. And again, it's the bottom of the 4th, except this time in St. Louis. 7-1 Cardinals. Forrest walks Larkin, which is about the last thing you'd expect from a Bob Forrest who's been around and has good control, and a 6-run lead, and he winds up walking the leadoff man. That's hit into right center field for a base hit and maybe more. Oquendo cuts it off. Gladden will settle for a long single, and Larkin goes to third. So the Twins stirring here in the top of the 5th. Got him. First out here in the 5th inning. 1 out, runners at first and third, and Puckett grounds it, knocked down by Lawless, and that's all he can do. The Twins get another run as Larkin crosses the plate. So all Lawless could do was knock it down. Puckett will get an infield single and a run batted in, and it's 7-2. Grounded toward the hole. Ozzie can knock it down, throw, and get him. St. Louis. Line to left. In comes Coleman. Makes the play. St. Louis. So Forrest gets helped out of the 5th inning. And Joe Niekro made his big league debut in 1967. And here he is finally in the World Series, and he's greeted by an Oquendo drive to right, caught by Brunansky. 1 pitch and 1 out, and here comes Lawless.
Third baseman.
Carlton Fisk's 11th inning home run in 1975. And I think Tom's may go down with Pudge's.
A looper to Newman for the out, so 2 down here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And Bob Forrest comes up. So one veteran facing another. Joe Niekro appearing in the World Series for the first time. And
Houston went into Los Angeles. They had to win 1 game of the weekend. They lost 3 in a row and then 1 on Monday afternoon.
1 hopper to Gagne, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Joe Niekro. We've played 5, 7-2 St. Louis. And here at Busch Stadium in St. Louis, where it's live, it's Herbeck leading off in the 6th inning with a base hit into right field. So Forrest, who staggered through the 5th and got out of it because of Smith and Coleman, 4 innings away from being dead even. That's grounded to the right side. Nice stop by Lindemann. He goes to Ozzie, back to Forrest, DP. Two and 0 on Gagne. Grounded to third. Lawless does a pretty good Pendleton imitation and throws him out. And at the end of 5 1/2, it's the Cardinals 7 and the Twins 2.
He didn't say that he never scuffed balls. On August 3rd in Anaheim, and
it's ripped to right field and against the fence as Brunansky plays the carom. Vince has a double.
Sal said when the sandpaper came out, it was a little incriminating.
Ozzie swings. Nice stop by Niekro. Coleman has to stay at second. Smith is gone, and that's the first out. 1 away in the bottom of the 6th inning, and Tommy Herr comes up. And Herr is on. So Coleman at second, and Herr now trots down to first with 1 out, and Jim Lindemann, the hitter.
I tell you, just think of how.
That's why veteran pitchers can contend with a Coleman a little bit better than rookies.
And Lindemann gets hit, and the bases are loaded.
Again, the problem that Joe Niekro has had all year. Watch him drop his arm. He gets underneath it.
And leading 7-2 with 1 out, and the bases loaded in the bottom of the 6th. And McGee strikes out swinging. 2 down, and Tony Pena comes to the plate. 2 down, bases loaded. And Pena hits it softly toward Gaetti, who throws the first for the out. So the Cardinals leave them loaded in the 6th. 7-2, St. Louis. We'll be back after this from your local station.
That they were not expected to beat the Giants. Got behind 3-2. And then what did they need? They got 22 straight innings.
And that one goes through Lindemann and down into the right field corner. Smalley on his way to second. And the leadoff man is on for Minnesota here in the 7th inning. And so Gladden hits a grand slam off Porsche, and then Bob figures out how to get him and strikes him out here in the 7th. 1-0 pitch. Hit back off Porsche, down to Smith, who has no play. And the Twins with runners at first and third. At double play depth with a 5-run lead, runners at first and third, and it hits him. So all of a sudden, the Twins now have the bases loaded and 1 out in the 7th inning. And Gary Gaetti coming to the plate with a left-hander Daly in the bullpen. And here comes Whitey. Coming into pitch for the Cardinals, the inside pitch on Daly from Tony Gwynn.
We saw last night with Todd Worrell. Now they're going to go away.
Got him.
So they come in off the plate. The result is foul balls. They go away. Now, and I'm not saying it's easy to hit.
Now Brunansky, and as you can see, 228 against left-handed pitching. And he pops it up. And it's playable, I think, for Lindemann. And it is. Daly works out of it. Still 7-2 St. Louis. And now George Frazier, and he knows a lot about agony. The last time Frazier pitched in the World Series.
Seen a lot of pitchers. Baron Guerra had problems last year throwing that new forkball.
Knocks it down and dug out. Nice play by Herbeck at first base for the out. Self-defense, that's all that was. 1 out, bases empty. Got him looking.
That looked like a wet one right there. No? Split finger fastball?
Looked like a hanging breaking ball to me.
7-2 St. Louis. And down he goes. To the 8th we go. 7-2 Cardinals. Tommy Herr, routine play. 1 gone. Ken Herbeck goes back to the dugout to start the top of the 8th inning. And Tim Laudner comes up.
Did not hurt his ability level at all. Didn't affect the breaking ball or his velocity.
Tommy Herr handles this one. And the Cards are 4 outs away from squaring the World Series. 2 down in the 8th inning. And Greg Gagne is the batter. Ken Daly sets the Twins down in order. And at the end of 7.5, Cardinals 7, Twins 2. A happy collection right now. They're 3 outs away from squaring the series and guaranteeing a 6th game. As Coleman starts by lining one right into Gaetti's glove. So 1 gone in the bottom of the 8th inning, and it will bring up Smith. Got a misshapen scorecard. And Ozzie hits a high fly ball to left center field. Gladden is there and makes the catch, and there are 2 down.
Yes, you will not get away that easily. There's a big difference between Jose Oquendo and Ozzie Smith and Greg Luzinski and Lonnie Smith.
Yes.
He's already concerned. I'm going to have to answer all those questions. They're going to ask the same question you asked. How did you do it?
Ripped into right field for a base hit. So Tommy Herr with a 2-out single. And that's the first hit off George Frazier. And it will bring up Lindemann. When the Twins come up in the top of the 9th inning, go to a 6th game, and we're 3 outs away from that being guaranteed, it would be Straker. Her goes, and Lindemann, it's a high fly ball to shallow left field. Dan Gladden is there, and that's the end of the bottom of the 8th. On to the 9th we go. Cards lead 7-2. And next to Tudor is Cox. To deep center field where it's 414, and McGee goes back about 409. One gone.
Surprising power from Mark Davidson. Only one home run on the year. Known for his rocket arm.
And 25 this year, including postseason play. A lot of comfort knowing you're going back.
To Tommy Herr. 2 down. Daly has now set down all 7 men he has faced. Base hit as the Twins stay alive. Don Baylor with a 2-out single to left as Coleman gets it back in. Gagne. To Smith, and the World Series is a best of 3.